It's the year 2043. After a long and devastating global trade war fractured economies and shifted the international landscape, pirates and corsairs once again roamed the seas. With petrol and the chemicals needed to build rechargeable batteries in short supply, people relied on sails to propel boats and makeshift cars built from the remnants of old machines. A team of young pirates consisting of Americans Diego, Jamie, and Alex, Lee from China and Naveed from Bangladesh, were on a mission for the Maharaja on their way to the Indian Ocean. They were delivering a satellite to a team from Russia that had the means to launch it into space. They were joined by Raymond, the young clone of Wayland Faust, the industrialist. The sea stretched wide and silver under the morning sun as the pirate ship slipped from the Maharaja's outpost harbor, sails unfurling with a satisfying snap. The satellite, now reinforced and humming with subtle energy, rested securely in the ship's hold, its final tweaks completed by Naveed, Junior, and the Maharaja's assistant. Arjun had departed days earlier, sailing east with Shinta and Aamina. Jamie watched their ship vanish into the horizon, a quiet ache in his chest. "I couldn't keep putting her in danger," he admitted to Diego that night. "She's brave, but she's not ready for this. I promised Ayaan I'd bring her back after this mission." Alex, leaning against the mast, nodded. "She's got talent, especially with medicine, but she's not built for this kind of chaos, and if anything happened to her, we'd lose Ayaan's trust. Maybe more." The ship was stocked with supplies, dried fish, rice, water, and a few crates of the Maharaja's infamous nutrient bars, which Diego had already dubbed brick bites. Synthetic fuel tanks were full, but they agreed to save it for emergencies. The wind would carry them now. On the first morning at sea, Lee kicked open the crew quarters. "Up! Training time!" Naveed groaned. "Already?" Junior buried his face in a pillow. "This is cruel." Diego sat up, rubbing his eyes. "No one gets to be a liability. Not anymore." Lee crossed his arms. "If you can't respect the rules, we can always drop you back with a lyra." Junior grumbled but got up. "Fine, but I'm not doing push-ups on an empty stomach." Later, as they stretched on the deck, Diego muttered to Alex, "All that negotiating, and the Maharaja still gave us the worst snacks in the hemisphere." Alex smirked. "You want me to draft a treaty for better granola?" On the deck, Lee had the young trainees spar, teaching martial arts techniques from his homeland. Junior moved with surprising fluidity, his strikes precise, while Naveed countered with raw strength and determination. Lee circled them, correcting stances, adjusting footwork, and nodding approvingly. "Good," Lee said, watching Junior deflect a heavy blow. "You're learning balance, not just force." Later, Jamie joined in, guiding them through fencing drills. The clash of blades rang out across the deck. Junior's stamina impressed them all, his movements relentless even after long exchanges. "You don't tire easily," Lee observed. Junior shrugged. "Genetic enhancements, built to last." Naveed groaned. "That's unfair." Lee smirked. "Stop whining, it cancels out your size advantage, makes you more almost evenly matched." The sparring ended with laughter, sweat, and bruises. Diego appeared, tossing each of them one of the Maharaja's infamous nutrient bars. "Brick bites." "Snack time," he said. "Don't choke on them." Raymond grimaced. "These taste like punishment." Naveed nodded. "Still better than starving." Afterward, Diego and Alex had the two trainees work the sails. The wind was strong, the ropes heavy, but under guidance they learned to adjust angles, tighten knots, and correct mistakes. Diego barked instructions, Alex corrected their grip, and both praised their progress. "Better," Diego said as the sails caught the wind cleanly. "You're getting it," Alex added. "Keep this up, and you'll be real sailors before long." The ship surged forward, the crew stronger, sharper, and more united. Training, sweat, and laughter carried them across the waves, toward the Russians and whatever awaited them next. That night, the crew gathered on the upper deck, the stars scattered like shattered glass above them. The wind was calm, the sea gentle. Junior played with what seemed like a battery-powered retro gaming handheld. Lee approached him. "Hey, Too much of that will fry your big brain. Keep it to a minimum. Diego leaned back. Lee, you've been with us a while now, but I've never asked. How'd you end up out here? Lee stared at the horizon. China didn't collapse like the rest. We still have power, clean water, tech, but it comes at a price. He paused. The government controls everything. If you fall out of favor, they erase you. Face recognition everywhere. They fine you, drain your accounts, blacklist your family. He looked down. My brother, he got caught shoplifting. Just a stupid mistake, but it ruined us. My parents lost their jobs. We couldn't buy food, couldn't travel, couldn't even leave the city. His voice dropped. After months of watching us suffer, he took his own life. Silence. I smashed my phone, stole a boat. I've been at sea ever since. Jamie exhaled. Every country we've been to, it's doing better than home, not what we were told. Lee nodded. The old continent's been through worse. They know how to adapt. Our nations have centuries of experience over yours, and still our leaders screw up. They all do. The wind picked up, tugging at the sails. Below deck, the satellite hummed softly, waiting, and above, the stars watched as the young pirates sailed toward the edge of the world, carrying the future in their hold. The wind had been steady for days, pushing the pirate ship across the Indian Ocean with quiet determination. The satellite remained secure in its reinforced cradle, and the crew had settled into a rhythm, training, scouting, and watching the horizon. Then, just after dawn, Lee spotted a vessel. Small ship, low profile, Russian flag. Alex grabbed the spyglass. That's our contact. They adjusted course and approached slowly. The Russian vessel was modest, weathered steel, faded markings, and a crew of 6, all armed and visibly tense. As the ships drew parallel, both crews raised their bows. Fingers tightened on strings, eyes narrowed. Diego whispered, "This is bad." The Russians shouted commands, sharp, clipped, unintelligible. Alex raised his hands. "We're here for the satellite rendezvous." No response. One Russian aimed directly at Naveed. Then Junior stepped forward. He spoke, fluid, confident Russian. The Russians froze. Junior continued, gesturing calmly, explaining their mission, their origin, and the satellite. The Russian leader lowered his bow slightly, then barked a command. The rest followed. Junior turned to the crew. They were expecting mercenaries from India. "Not us," Alex exhaled. "So what now?" "They'll take us to their captain," Junior said. "He commands a larger vessel. He'll decide if we're legit." The Russian crew signaled for them to follow. As the pirate ship adjusted course behind the smaller vessel, Diego leaned toward Junior. "You speak Russian?" Junior shrugged. "The old man insisted I learned multiple languages, said it was important for the mission." Lee smirked. "Guess you're finally useful." Junior grinned. "What?" "I've been useful since day one, buddy." The sea stretched ahead, calm but uncertain. And somewhere beyond the horizon, the Russian captain waited, with the power to launch the satellite or sink their mission.